My name is Dr. Tashni-Ann Dubroy, and I'm the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at Howard University. I went to a community college and then went on to an HBCU called Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was really there that I got to understand and appreciate the HBCU experience. I then went on to NC State University to pursue my degree in physical organic chemistry. In the 9th grade is when I had an outstanding female teacher, and she taught me how it is that I could overcome the barrier, the learning barrier that I had, a mental barrier I would call it, because I thought the subject was very difficult. And I went on and pursued it all the way up to the Ph.D. When Dr. Frederick hired me at the university, it was quite interesting for him to be hiring a university president to serve as his EVP and COO. But one of the reasons why I took the job is because he mentioned that he wanted to create models of executive leadership at HBCUs for other ones to follow. And that appealed to me because I recognized the vulnerability of the sector. Being the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at Howard University is a very tall job. And it's no easy feat. I'll be honest with you, you have to be able to see the university through various lenses. I mean, I'm overseeing the Department of Public Safety, Enrollment Management, Environmental Health and Safety Auxiliary Services, HR at times, and it runs that gamut of, pretty significant services in the university that must operate well in order for us to have a university that functions well and serves our populace in the manners that they need to be served. When I got to Howard University, I got to see HBCUs through an additional lens that I did not have before. It's a much larger institution. The young people here are exceptionally bright, and those are a dime a dozen. And so you can imagine being on a campus where the talent is exceptional. They're yearning for an education, and they go out in the world and do absolutely magnanimous things. And so for me, that gives me the motivation that I need to continue. When I speak to African American students in particular, whether at Shaw or at Howard University, I am seeing beyond what they are now towards what they can be, and empathizing with what it is that they've had to face as they've come up in society. I continuously want to be part of fixing it. I think the most powerful thing that I can do with the talent that I have, the skill sets that I've learned over the years, is to contribute via educating our young people. And it doesn't happen by people having a passive attitude towards these goals. It's really people who are active in the work that they do and really being intentional about how it is that we achieve these goals. It does speak to people being kind, being nice, and understanding that everybody's coming to the table with different problems. And so, we're just trying to create a more empathetic organization. Whatever it is that we are doing, meaning to brag about our students and help them be more successful, is attracting a donor somewhere who says, all right, the Howard University education means something, and I want to be part of investing in that. When I look back on my life and the people who mentored me, even sometimes without knowing that they were direct mentors, I've always had people to look up to. You see potential in someone and you want to make sure that they realize that potential, because not everybody sees that they have the ability to go beyond what it is that they're currently pursuing. I think we should give people an opportunity to try and train them on how it is that they should lead and judge them by their outcome. Howard University has created so many impactful women leaders nationally and globally, and we don't have to look too far, right down the street at the White House to VP Harris to demonstrate the success that we've had in producing great women leaders. To me, I think, society has given us a raw deal, and they focus on the wrong things, on trying to oppress women, and I'm not one to be oppressed. I mean, it's in my blood. I'd say, where you get to fight for yourself, and sometimes even when you don't have an advocate, you've got to be that advocate. Same thing I want for my daughter. She's 13 years old. I don't have to tell her to speak. She is also taking that generational nod. And it's very empowered, and it feels good to be able to create or curate a little mind like that. It's almost natural in terms of how empowered she feels, not only to be a girl, but to be a girl with an opinion. Howard University has higher than average deans who are women, cabinet members who are women, and board of trustees members who are women. And that's actually intentional. That's all coming from Dr. Frederick. So he had a vision for how it is that women would be represented in the organization, because when he took the position of presidency, he noticed that although we had a student population that was 72% women, the number of deans did not reflect the student population ratio. And so he made an intentional effort to start hiring women deans, even in divisions that were not popular for having a woman dean, such as divinity. I think it's a beautiful thing, especially to see that it's a man who is also advocating for us. I think we always need males who are champions. And so that has been helpful, not only to watch, but to be a participant in. And I am coming to a workplace where I don't feel as if I'm being discriminated against or not listened to because of my gender. We want to ensure that Howard University is doing everything it possibly can to keep those doors open, whether it's through being an example for other HBCUs to follow, or providing resources through partnerships that we have for them to pursue, or simply giving advice. I think the African American journey is a beautiful one. I know that there are shared struggles amongst the diaspora. We can speak to all of our ancestors coming from Africa and being dispersed all across the globe. But I think what gives unity is that shared experience of struggle and pride and overcoming what people thought we could not overcome. Give women an opportunity to breathe. And if I can facilitate that breath, I do and I will. I think that, society has made it pretty difficult for more people to step up as leaders, because leaders get so criticized for problems that they did not start, but problems that people need them to fix. But I recognize that somebody has to bear that responsibility. And so, I'll step in 100% at a time. I think that it's important to be kind. At all times, when you lead with empathy and you're leading with other people's emotions and experiences in mind, that it helps you to be a better leader. In terms of honesty, whether you're having a conversation with an audience of many or an audience of one about the reality that an institution is facing financially, academically, or otherwise, it's important to be able to discuss tough truths and always operate with integrity as a leader. Ensure that you're always operating in a realm of integrity and telling the truth. And lastly, I think leaders need to be courageous. It makes no sense to elevate as a leader and not be able to operate from a position of bravery. And I think by shouldering a balance of kindness, honesty, and courage, a leader will be able to lead effectively. Looking forward, I want people to look back on my legacy and say, she came, she saw, and she did that.